Okay, I have a box of these pieces of birch plywood. They're 1/4 inch, and they just sort of accumulate after a while. They're scrap off of signs that I've made and things of that sort. So I thought I would make a little project today. Probably some little cases for my scroll saw blades. So if you would just keep an eye on me now, we'll go through the process, and maybe you'd like to make some too. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is take these scrap pieces over to the table saw and cut them down to size. I'm figuring probably about 4 inches long and maybe about 1 inch wide on one side and 1.25 inches on the other side. We'll see how it goes and we'll try it out. So let's go to the table saw and cut these up. Okay, so I cut up enough to make 2 cases. This will be just for starters, and eventually I'll make some more later on. One side is going to be 1.25 inches long, and the other side is going to be 1 inch. Now we have to take these and cut them to 4 inches long. So we should be able to get enough for our 2 cases. We'll measure one of these off at 4 inches, and we'll take it over to the chop saw, cut that off, and we'll match the others up so that they all come out to 4 inches. Okay, I'm only going to use glue to put these together. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 1.25 inch piece, put it on the bottom, and along the edge of the 1 inch piece, we'll put some glue. Don't need a lot of it, just a little bit. Smooth it out, and just plunk it down here, right on top of that 1.25 inch edge. Now we're not going to worry too much about precision here. These will be precise enough for just holding the blades that we want to put inside. This is going to be something like those little test tubes, except of course they're made out of wood. So we do the other side now. The glue on that. Smooth it out. Not going to worry about squeeze out much here either. We're going to do some sanding on these so it'll smooth out all the sections later on. Okay, so we got 2 sides on. The other 1/4 inch will go right on top there. I think we'll put the glue here along this edge. You could do it on either side. You could put it on there, but those are a little weak right now, so we'll just put them right here for now. the glue right along the edge there. Smooth it out. Take your piece and put it right smack dab on top. Should fit pretty good. And by George, it looks very good. Okay, so we got our basic tube pretty well set. What I'm going to do is move that out of the way, and we'll do our second one. Same procedure. Glue that up. Put it right on top there. Gets easier after you've done this a few times. Another one. Glue up. Flatten it out. Put it down. And it looks pretty good. Okay, and then we do the flat side. As opposed to the edges. Again, you don't have to be 100% precise on this. I mean, close enough is the way we judge this. Put it right on top there. Just like putting those model airplanes together you did when you were a kid. And if it's a little bit over on the edge, not to worry about it. We're going to sand this down later on and make it look real good. Okay, we're going to let these pieces dry now. And once they're dry, we'll come back and do a little more work on them. To make the bottoms of these little boxes, we're not going to do anything fancy here. We're not going to do any measuring if we don't have to. Just going to take the bottom here and put it down on this piece of wood, similar birch plywood. Lock it down there, and then just draw a little square around it. And we'll do another one. I'll use the other one actually, since we're going to use it. Put the other one on the other side and block that out. Okay, we're going to cut these out on a bandsaw. Doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to be smoothing out the edges anyways on a sander. So let's go over to the bandsaw and cut these out. Alright, nothing complicated here. I'm going to cut these little squares out. They're really ratty edges, but that's okay because we're going to glue these down, and later on we're going to sand them down. So it might even be a little bigger than the actual box, and sand them right flush with it. Okay, keeping with the general looseness of this plan, I'm going to take these and glue them down to the bottom of the boxes now. Again, nothing complicated here. Really very easy. Some glue on the edges here. Take it and press it down. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a little bit of an overhang on each side. And what we'll do is we'll take the sander on this belt sander later to sand these down flush with the bottom. Do the same with this one. A no frills operation here. Very simple. Okay, we'll leave that like that for now, and we'll come back when that dries, do the sanding. These are dried pretty good. All the pieces are together. Nothing's falling apart. This is my test. Got some overhang here. All this has to be sanded down now. And we're going to do this on the belt sander. So let's take it over to the belt sander and see what we can do with it. Okay, we're going to take these to the belt sander. Now first we're going to sand down the edges to make sure that everything is nice and even. Bottom is a little loose down here, but I think it'll be okay since we're going to sand it all down anyways. And then after we're done with that, we're going to take this, while the sander is running, I'm going to hold it down here flat and just sort of raise it up on each side so that it rounds the whole thing over. So it's more like a tube rather than a square block. So let's give that a try and let's see how it works, and we'll be all set. Take a closer look at these now. Got them all sanded down on all the corners and the edges. Everything looks pretty good. Nice and even. And got a nice flat bottom too, in case you want to stand it upright like that. I'm going to take it over to the other dust, the mop sander, and we'll try smoothing this out even more. We're at the mop sander now. If you don't happen to have one of these, you could sand these by hand, of course, to smooth them out. But since I have it, I use this, and it seems to work pretty good. So we'll do all the edges and the sides and get it as nice and smooth as we can. We're here at the drill press now, and what I'd like to do is put a couple of indentations in the box so that I can put in these little earth magnets. I can put those in there. See, they work very well, as you can see. Put those right sort of so that it's right above the surface of the wood, and it will attach to any metal object you want to hang these on. These are going to be, you can put them on the side of your scroll saw, or you can put them on some other metal object that happens to be nearby as another option for standing it up. You can also stand it up on end too without using the magnets, but that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, we're back at the ranch here, and we're going to take these little earth magnets. Unfortunately, I only have 3 of them, so I'm going to do one of the boxes, and I'll do another one later on, but you'll get the idea. We're going to take a little bit of super glue. In this case, I'm using the Gorilla Super Glue Gel, and put a little activator on it, and then drop these things right in the hole, and hope that I don't stick my fingers to it and have to live with it for the rest of my life. Alright, let's put that right in there. A little drop in each point. Okay, and then we'll spray some activator in there. And we'll put the little magnets in place. Trying not to get my fingers in there. Okay, they're in there. And now that should be, once it dries, and it should be dry by now probably, we should be able to put this on any metal surface, stand it upright, put our Scrollsaws blades inside. Just notice something interesting. This actually is affected by the magnet. That's interesting. Right through the wood. Alright. I use mostly 5s and 7s, so we're going to just do these 2 for now. But I may make others later on as I need them down the road. Okay, let's take a look and see how this thing works. Well, you can of course stand these up on end if you like. I'm going to put a label on here eventually too, so we'll know what kind of blades we got in here. These happen to be number 5R, reverse tooth as it is. And if you want to though, I've got right next to my Scrollsaw here, I have a bandsaw with a metal door, which might make an ideal place to put these. Works pretty good there. Holds on pretty nice. Alright. Then of course on the side of the Scrollsaw, they have these areas that they use for blades with test tubes. I suppose I could put them right over there. Just as effective. Seems to work pretty good. Okay. What I'm going to do is label this. I'm going to make this the 5R one. I'm sure I could make a fancier label than this, but for now, 5R looks pretty good. And my Scrollsaws or saw blades are nicely placed in there. Take them out as I need them. And we can go to town. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, click the little like button down below. And perhaps you might even want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can do that down there too. And then when I put out new videos, you can be alerted when they're available. Thank you for watching.